So, I have this edge to me, as I always say, which is why nobody sees my videos, that when you toy with me, especially when you're in a political role, I'm going to come for you verbally. So I'm coming for Will Scharf some more. So he ran for, he's the auto pen that, he's the gatekeeper, the Trump's staff secretary. So anything that's going to reach Donald Trump's desk will go through this deadbeat. Now, God made me without a filter sometimes. I mean, he just says that's the way it's got to be sometimes. Got to get people to realize. William Scharf gets another $2 million for Missouri AG campaign from a group tied to Leonard Leo. So Leonard Leo was tied to the Club for Growth. Do people remember what Trump said about the Club for Growth? He called it the Club for No Growth because they were Republicans campaigning against him. And he said they're asking for a death wish. But it gets more insane. Tied to Charlie Kirk and Adam Scharf and Cosmo Scharf. Oh, yeah, it just gets deeper all the time. This is Cosmo Scharf. 9 years ago. What if we could live in the Matrix? Yes, he was part of Peter Thiel's scholarship, like got 100,000, to drop out of school and, do a startup. And, but then he dropped out of the Thiel program because he didn't support Thiel supporting Donald Trump in 2016. But he's tied to all the tech craziness, the cosmic blueprint. And you can see Cosmo Scharf. He has some business website, Divine something, like, all about, just going into the Matrix. But all of it, too, tied to hacking. I hate to give him any attention, but he does have a YouTube channel, a podcast. Cosmo Scharf. It's the same, this is what this is talking about. I can't, So the guy I just showed you, Cosmo, he was the 21-year-old that turned down $100,000 because Peter Thiel's support helped Trump win the election. I mean, he's embedded in tech, okay? Like, to all this hacking, to all this virtual reality, to all this insanity. This is him too. So just, I'm going to show this picture later because it ties to somebody else. Another Scharf. So this is from that same article. And this is his experience. Biohackers, Vision Hack, Movie Bot, Mind Show. Cosmo Scharf. But let's move on to Adam Scharf. So this was a month ago. It's some YouTube channel, all about Orthodox Jews, okay? But posted a month ago how Charlie Kirk made me an Orthodox Jew. Oh, you really need to go listen to that. It's not very long. I mean, you'd think Charlie Kirk was a miracle worker at 21 years old back in 2015. But if you listen close enough, you can tell what Charlie Kirk and Mitt Romney and all the closeted, secret club was doing. If you listen, like he was part of a student, and look, this the same last name as the auto pen there in the White House right now. Yet he goes on to say, Adam Scharf felt drawn to Charlie Kirk's message primarily because Kirk challenged his secular mindset and sparked deep questions about faith, God, and identity. At 21 years old, he did that? Okay. But he mentioned something like he seemed older than his age because he was so wise. Scharf was initially somewhat indifferent to his Jewish heritage, but Kirk's intellectual curiosity, charisma, and encouraging attitude prompted Scharf to reconsider his religious beliefs. Although Kirk is an evangelical Christian, he emphasized the importance of Scharf reconnecting with his Jewish roots rather than converting to Christianity. The personal conversations Kirk had with Scharf about the reality of the universe, philosophy, and spirituality broadened Scharf's mind. How interesting, he's just coming out in the last, since his death, saying this. And inspired him to explore Orthodox Judaism seriously. Kirk's deep knowledge, wisdom, Kirk had no wisdom beyond his years. Genuine respect for Scharf's background made the message compelling and transformative. So what he says is that he noticed, like on Facebook, that he was a supporter of Mitt Romney back in that day, and that he was part of, some president of the student, conservative group. And so he set up a meeting with this kid when Charlie Kirk was 21 years old, met in the library. Talk about grooming kids, okay? And you may think, oh, but it's grooming for the right reasons. I don't think so. So Adam Scharf was recently, he posted something and online, but only subscribers. It's basically about his encounter with Charlie. So he had posted this picture. That's Charlie Kirk at the Western Wall. It always just makes me wonder, are they Sephardic? Is Charlie Kirk, because it's been questioned in the past. I'm going to confuse people about the Kennedys. If they, because of the medical conditions JFK had, there's been reporters that question, were they really Sephardic Jews? It's a certain sect of Judaism. And I've said, I think Kirk was related to the Kennedys. So I want, it makes me wonder even more, was he a Sephardic Jew? Because they were Sephardic Jews in their history, they either fell under Muslim control, depending on what country they lived in, or they fell under Catholicism control. You see what I'm saying? This was posted by Adam Scharf with the Jewish community at the University of Oregon soon after he first met Charlie Kirk. And then this is Adam Scharf. I guess he got married in 2021. So all of that being suspicious, okay? All of it being tied to some religious agenda, clearly, okay? And anything tied to Mitt Romney, in my opinion, is never a good idea. He just not. But again, Charlie Kirk was a never Trumper. When Donald Trump was getting all these numbers, then it's like, oh, we got to attach to him. This is but what's crazy, because I know people are like, wait, what are you talking about? You got Will Scharf, you got Cosmo Scharf, and you got this guy, Adam Scharf. Yeah, crazy, isn't it? What does it all mean, huh? Either they're all related, which easily could be true. Again, the auto pen there in the White House currently is Orthodox Jew too. See, this is where, not trying to go after the Jews, because they're, that can go down crazy land. However, Orthodox Jews, it's the Messianic Jews that recognize Jesus as the Messiah. And I don't care if somebody doesn't recognize Jesus as the Messiah, but there's some Orthodox Jews, they see Christians as heretics. Okay, so that can be sort of a problem. I'm not saying we can't all live together. Just something's going on here. I mean, why would Charlie Kirk, who is supposedly a Christian, try to get him to convert away from Christianity? Charlie Kirk was up to no good, and Will Scharf, that auto pen in the White House, that's also a never Trumper, he's no good either, and he's the gatekeeper. Well, he was part of that Tiger Inn at Princeton. Yeah, guess what? You know what? You know who conquers the tigers? The lion.